Finally, it's here, the OnePlus 2. You know, that phone from China everyone is talking about. The first one, very successful, especially because of the price. At least in Germany, Europe, it's a recommended retail price of €399, including tax, without any contract. You're getting a Snapdragon 810 processor, octa-core, 4 GB RAM working memory and 64 GB internal memory, and especially a big screen. This is 5.46 inch or 139 millimeters in diagonal, making with that full HD resolution a pixel density of 403 ppi. That's quite okay, 9% above the average. Average, like always, meaning compared to the old smartphones of the last 12 months I've reviewed, so meaning the competitors, the current competitors. So that's kind of seems to be a good offer, especially if you watch a little bit careful more here on that screen, because this is IPS, and I wanted to show this here under that magnifier. This is IPS, or let me go a little bit closer. This is IPS dual domain, and I wanted to show you why this is so great, because here you see the green, red and blue subpixels. Here, I'm trying to get it here in focus. Here we are. So you see some of them are turned a little bit to the left, the others turned to the right, and that's making that great pixel density. Why everybody is talking about IPS dual domain is better than regular IPS. You see here, or if I turn around like that, you see there's almost no change, no matter in what kind of angle I'm looking onto the display. So this is great, and especially if you see the brightness. Let me go out a little bit more like that one. I've measured 551 candela per square meter. That's very huge, especially it's 21% above the average. Let me go like that. You see now again that device in full screen here. Yeah, so it's sharp, it's bright, it's brilliant, it's big especially, and for that you have that little bit 400 euros recommended retail price. That seemed to be okay, but there are some things you should know. First of all, do not count 64 GB because you have to update your pre-installed apps. Most of them you cannot deinstall. You have to update the operating system. It's delivered with Android 5.1.1 and everything. So net memory is 51.7 GB. 51.7. That's the value you should calculate with. And you cannot expand the memory. So you have that double slot here on the side, yeah, but it's both for SIMs. Both have to be nano SIMs, as you can see here. So yes, it's dual SIM, that's a big plus, of course. But what I do not understand is why didn't they do the same like Huawei, to have one SIM over here and the second slot for, you have to decide by yourself if you want to have a second SIM or a micro SD card. That would have been better. Don't ask me why they didn't do, but it's like that. Deal with it. And the other thing I wanted to show is, even if you can remove the backside, that's, by the way, very, very rough, like sandpaper almost. So meaning the fingers have a really good grip, perfect grip. But on the other side, I would be a little bit careful if I have furniture that's very valuable. So maybe if you put it on there, do not move it like that up and down by purpose. So I would be a little bit careful to avoid scratches, you know what I mean. But from the feeling here, it's okay. Going back to the battery, built in, as you can see here, you cannot remove it by yourself. It's lithium polymer and especially 3,300 milliamps. That's huge, especially if you compare that, and that's the first value I always measuring, because it, in most cases at least, it gives a hint how the battery runtime will be. So if you compare the battery capacity, 3,300 milliamps, to the size of the display, 5.46 inches again, then this relation is 11% above the average. So we can hope on good runtime resolutions in the battery runtime test. And as you see here, it's kind of native vanilla Android. So this is 5.11, and we can hope on soon upgrades. But you have, of course, some special features here from OnePlus called Oxygen 2.0. And one of this is, for example, this additional button here on the side, hardware button. You have three positions. Let me go like that in the upper one. So you see here, alarms only, that's the night mode. In the middle position, you have priority interrupts only, let's say if you're in a meeting. And the lower position here is all notifications, meaning that's the regular mode. And down here, of course, you might have seen already, that's not a mechanical home button, that's a fingerprint sensor, of course. So just tap on it and you can do things like unlocking your device. By the way, when we're here on the lock screen, you can, of course, if you do not want to give away your fingerprints, for example, just tap to wake. I love that feature. And then maybe just like that, however you want it. And especially lock screen, you can, for example, have no for start the camera. Don't ask me why it's not a C. It would be way more intuitive, but now it is here. Or the other way around, what you can do is just let me have that again, unlock like this, and then double tap down there, and you have to start, or this can start the camera too. But it doesn't have to be like on Samsung, for example, that has that double tap too. But here you can decide what you want to have under this double tap action here. So you see, for example, open camera, do nothing, or open recent apps or whatever. So you can choose what you want to have here. And especially you can, I do not why you might want that. For example, here, let me go to this one here, screen, on-screen navigation. I do not know why you should want it, because you're losing screen area here by that, but I activated this because to show you the swap feature here. So you can swap these two positions. For example, if you're coming from Samsung, you are used to have here on the right your back button. This is helpful. You can do that, of course, the same way if you do not have these on-screen buttons, just here that navigation down there. Then you can swap positions too if you want to, of course. Or there is, for example, these gestures. I've shown you the open camera. Oh, open. Okay. I would have suggested to make it C, but nevertheless, now I know at least why it's no. In German, for example, it doesn't work with the O, so it's totally different and stupid because it's start camera, for example, in German, but never mind. So here we go, and you have different others. You can drop them off or on all by or just one by one. And there's more of that you can find here. But as you see, in most cases it's like vanilla Android that you know. So we can hope for quick updates. What else I should show you is that slot down there that looks like micro USB, but it's not. It's called USB-C, and the cable is looking like that, coming, including a compatible, of course, charging module. So you have now that kind of lightning feature that you can turn around your USB cable the way you want to. It fits all the time, no matter if you turn it upside down or other way around, it always fits. I love that. Why doesn't have to be that since 100 years? I do not know, but finally it comes. But on the other hand, this this thing here down there is not compatible with that usual USB. So for example, if you want to use old charging modules from other smartphones, you have to buy adapters. Or for example, USB on the go is supported, yes, but you have to buy a new adapter cable for, let's say, USB stick flash memories. I have to do the same. It cost me 8 or 9 euros or something like that on Amazon to have it tomorrow, but it didn't arrive tomorrow, so I have to show you this video without that USB adapter cable for, this is called USB-C. It's a part of that standard USB 3.1. It brings, for example, up to at least around about 10 gigabits per second, so very, very high speed. But on the other hand, you should know, calculate some euros or dollars or whatever for some new adapter cable if you want to use your previous things you are used to. Yeah, I told you it's a Snapdragon 810 octa-core processor, it's 4 GB RAM, and you have especially LTE, 4G, you have Wi-Fi AC, including 5 GHz band and everything you want to. So for, again, around about 400 euros. It's a good offer. You have a 13 megapixels camera. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you the camera module a little bit, because it's a little bit tricky. On the first side you can position, as you know, that's called touch focus, the focus point wherever you want to. And especially you can have this, if you turn around this icon here, you can adjust brightness right away. That's great. But on the other hand, it's a little bit tricky. Switch, for example, from photo to video mode, because sometimes you make this one and you have your notification center if you're not careful enough. So tap again here and swipe enough, and then it's okay. But it's a little bit irritating, especially this is removing sometimes a little bit too soon for me. Especially whatever you have tapped, it's dropping again, and you will need it, for example, if you want to go to the settings here. Let me go like that. Where are my settings? These should be right down here with a button there. Let me close that app. Is there a bug or what is it? Start again the camera. Go like here, you see that's what I was looking for. Don't ask me why it didn't appear on the first side. Maybe, let me have a look. If we start the camera with that double tap and then go like that, we do not have that. Oh, see, I just detected a bug over here. Or maybe you can explain to me in the comments why this should be a feature and not a bug. But I don't think there is a really good reason for that. So here we are. There are the settings I wanted to show like that. It's just a few, and especially if we switch again. Oh, there was, yeah. I didn't have to do that. So this is the usual thing. And again, switch here to go to the settings. As I told you, a little bit complicated. You see, there's no settings in the video mode for switching the resolution. So you have video recording always in full HD, and 13 megapixels are the photos. Here you can, as you have seen down there, already switch some, at least 7.9 and 9.3. Here you have different formats, 4:3, 16:9, 1:1. So that's at least you can switch a little bit. Front camera, by the way, 5 megapixels. Yeah. And you see the other features down here, and over there you have something like HDR, for example, but no automatic mode that it's dropping by in case you need it without that you have selected it manually or something. I would prefer that, but that's the upper class and more expensive phones. I hope this is enough for some first impressions of the OnePlus 2. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.